Peace, family. You tapped in with the DOA TBM. It's your boy Fonzie Neutron representing with Big Floss Mode, aka Floss Angeles. What's good, Ken?
Oh yes, today is gonna be a different day on the show today. We going hard on them today. You feel me? What's up to all the listeners and all that shit out there? What's good?
Yeah, you definitely seem like you getting smoked out over there. But we're looking at the fallout from the weekend, hip hop's 50th anniversary, the big celebration at the Grammys. We've seen a lot of different people chiming in with thoughts and feeling as though they were left out. More recently, JJ Fad, the Supersonic group, have come out and said that they feel slighted that they wasn't given an invitation. We've seen Willie D speak out about not getting an invitation, and somebody actually brought it up in one of the comments and said Willie D actually rapped years ago in one of his lyrics saying that he'll never be at the Grammys and stuff like that. So I'm kind of looking at it like we've seen this huge emphasis on people feeling as though they were left out or not enough place was shown for hip hop at the Grammy Awards, and I'm like, are people still complaining about this year's latest? Are we past that point? Should the progenitors or the moguls be doing more to, create their own platforms and award shows and stuff? I mean, it ain't gonna be as big as the Grammys, but what say you?
The whole shit was a big jalopy to me. You know, not taking away from nobody to see all of the greats up there, Grandmaster Cass and Grandmaster Flash and uh, um, um, all the all the greats up there from hip hop. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. You know, the reason why people is complaining, especially from the West, is because first of all, numero uno, why is the Grammys the people that's holding the 50th anniversary of hip hop? That should be just one show. If that's what they was gonna do, that's what they should have did, and that should be it. But I feel like it's too many people that didn't put their lives into hip hop, then been in this shit before they even had gray hair, and some of them before they had mustaches and everything, to base it to one show of people who didn't even really care about hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, why isn't it 4 and 5 different shows of award shows for the 50th? This is the 50th of hip hop. Why aren't like Russell Simmons and it's too many MCs and rappers that got millions of dollars that they want to show and let everybody know that they got all the money, but they don't want to put it up for a cause. You niggas is lackadaisical when it comes to. There's so many people that's getting money from hip hop that's not even MCs. They get more money than MCs, people that's working in the companies and all of that. A lot of people have been eating off hip hop for a long time and getting big checks and eating at big fine restaurants off of hip hop. But you mean to tell me you niggas can't get together? Look at the verses from Trilla that Trilla put out is bigger than the 50th anniversary of hip hop. You know, like I said, I ain't taking taking nothing away from it to probably try to put too much shade on it. But why is it only one award show for that? We used to have the Source Awards. We used to have the Urban Network conventions. We used to have the Jack the Rapper convention. I think niggas is slacking on their Mac, and everybody is making money from it, making the big money from it, and spoiled and not putting in back into hip hop as they should. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm talking to the big rappers. I guess they figure because Jay-Z is in the crowd and they showed the camera, show him clapping, that's hip hop. But first of all, the West Coast at the end of the day was going to be shortchanged anyway because, as I recall it, I've been in hip hop for a long time. So I've seen the biasness of how back in the day, see, I used to be up in New York when it wasn't even popping for LA niggas. I used to be up in New York and be in Queens at the Rochdale apartments and shit like that, the Rochdale projects. You know what I'm saying? So niggas can't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. And niggas used to be biased in New York and they be on the radio. I ain't gonna name too many names, Funk Master Flex, but you know what I'm saying? It was a bunch of DJs that wasn't even allowing West Coast music to be played. So the fact of New York was biased at that time, and it's the Grammys. West Coast wasn't going to be a part of it. We had Ice-T there. We had, Too Short there, and all of that. These are faces that were, I guess represented the West Coast. But I feel like if niggas is gonna complain about it, why not put their money where their motherfucking mouth is? And then we have our own West Coast edition of the 50th anniversary, and the East Coast had theirs. Look at the South. There's too many people from all over this globe that have put their lives on the line and spent so many years going through ups and downs and trials and tribulations just to even get on to make you feel like you haven't been a part of this. That's why I feel Willie D. I feel Willie D when how you feel like that. I'm not gonna be able to get invited to something and I'm hip hop. You feel what I'm saying? I think that we slacked on our Mac when it came to when we had it in control. When you have people like Bob Johnson from BET, when you sell shit, when you sell, this is a culture. This ain't just a business. This is a culture. You know what I'm saying? When people get up every morning and they feel hip hop, they throw their baggy jeans on or whatever you go through, your ripped jeans with your Timberland boots and all of that. This is a lifestyle. This is something that we live to make it. It's like a slap in the face somewhat. You know what I'm saying? It was like a slap in the face. Even though I enjoyed the music and loved seeing Queen Latifah and Missy and all and et cetera, and all the other people. You know what I mean? But I just feel like, yeah, we feel cheated. You look at the verses, Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One, they shit was big. The Locks against Dipset, that shit was big. You know what I'm saying? Why are not people just basing it to one? That's why people are feeling the way that they're feeling, because they only base the 50th to one award show. When we used to have the Source Awards and the Rap Pages Award, I think people just at this point, they're making money from hip hop, from being in hip hop for so many years, but everybody's spoiled. You know what I'm saying? They've been living. They spoiled and got black cards and all that shit off of hip hop. But nobody's really putting their money up. The Babies, Cash Money. You know what I mean? The Jay-Z's. You know what I'm saying? He got enough money. He can go fund the whole shit. The Russell Simmons. There's a bunch of them. You know what I mean? Not saying that they haven't put their contributions in. I'm not taking away from that. I'm just saying for right now, this is the 50th. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people not even here to even see this no more. You know what I mean? The Eazy-E's. Imagine how Eazy-E feel. He not nominated or anything like that. If it wasn't for Eazy-E, there'd be no Dr. Dre. That means there's no Dr. Dre, there'd be no Eminem and 50 Cents and et cetera, and et cetera. This, that, and the third. You know what I mean? I'm just venting. I'm not really that mad like that, but I am kind of like disappointed a little bit, like and kind of let down a little bit. Like that's it. That's all we gonna get for 50 years.
I mean, the thing is, when we look at it to a lot of the degree, we can say hip hop, especially the culture being spawned, was always sort of on the outside looking in, especially when it comes to things like the Grammys. You aforementioned earlier that, in the early days and stuff, the early award nominees and recipients, to some capacity, they wasn't even featured on the show and stuff like that. And,
Right.
Obviously now we've seen things move forward where there was a portion on the show and, coming after a huge hip hop performance at the Super Bowl, amongst other things, that, people could see that hip hop can take that forefront from a corporate standpoint and stuff like that as well. I feel as though, you make some great points, especially when looking at, mentioning some of the big names like the Jay-Z's, the Russell Simmons, the Diddy's, Birdman, Master P, others and stuff. And we know in different capacities, some of these guys may have tried doing things, but I feel as though like it shouldn't be that complex to put together something like an award show, because to be, we got our website. We got our,
go ahead.
Well, I'm saying we got our website, badonline.com, and one of the things we did out there a couple of years back was, online awards, and we put together awards, and we put together the categories, and we gave out some awards and stuff. Now that's just online, and I know there's been people even within local communities that have put together like their own sort of award shows and giving people an award. So what I'm ultimately saying is, if somebody like from a big level wanted to give those kind of flowers to people within hip hop or within the culture and put together an award show, I'm sure they could do it now. Granted, it wouldn't be anything as big as the Grammys, and we know that you have to give things time to grow. But I think if your intentions are pure and it's something you wanted to do, like to give back flowers to the culture, it should be there. We have to talk about hip hop people leading a union, something like that, where, let's
Right.
say they had a union which could go to even producing things like, annual award shows and stuff like that. I think would be good.
This
I
this is
think
where
the
the
issue
getting is
is,
good. This is where the getting is getting good. This is like years after hip hop. This is where the good is supposed to be. You're supposed to be getting it. Why isn't it a union? Why isn't it? Why isn't it that a genre of music that's making $1 trillion, you know what I'm saying, $1 trillion mark, and nobody has a union. So when it's over, you still getting your residuals. You still get your flowers. You feel what I'm saying? It's like there's so much malarkey and shenanigans going on with it. But I just feel like, you know, put your money where your mouth is. There's a lot of people. I feel like once they got rid of these shows one by one, that's when hip hop and rap fell apart like a bad burrito, and niggas is coming out talking about hip hop is dead and all that. It's because once you got rid of your MTV Raps, once you got rid of 106 in Park, once you got rid of the Basement, once you got rid of all these shows one by one, hip hop started to diminish and decline. But something that's so powerful can't decline because they keeping it alive enough for so niggas can make money. But the real people not shining from it and not really, you already got the companies that's trying to take money from you off the top. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, and with all the propositioning, and you're not gonna get your record played unless you doing this or your streams. They messing with the streams. You don't never know. Put it to you like this: how we talked about yesterday. If the record companies want your record to go #1 next week, guess what? It's gonna go #1 next week. But if your shit ain't popping, or you have your own mind, or you done rub somebody different in the wrong way at them companies, they not about to play it. So that's the reason why, like, when you give up ownership, like Bob Johnson gave up ownership. I understand he probably was like a headache, you know what I mean? But you find somebody else that the whole time while you was doing this BET shit, you find somebody like I forget her name, the lady that was running BET for Kathy Hughes, I think. You know what I'm saying? Big up to her too. These people are older, you know what I mean? So they don't want to spend all their time and the rest of their life, messing with something that's so high energy and so high packed that you have to give up your whole life. They want to chill and go on vacation and chill. So you get younger people as you're in position to put them in position so you can keep it going, not sell it. You know what I'm saying? Not sell it. BT, when they sold BT, that was the knife in the back, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like, not to go on and on and on about it, sound like a rant. I just feel like hip hop I was born in '74, so I am a hip hop baby. You know what I mean? It's 50. I'm 49, and rap is 50. You feel me? So I look at it, it's like from Houdini to NWA to hieroglyphics to Himalayas to King T to Cool G Rap and so on and so on, Special Ed and all of them and so on and so on. I just feel like rap should have been bigger. We should have 4 and 5 of these shows for the 50th. You know what I mean? And make Triller, you know what I mean? And put it on for Triller. I mean, what's up? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I think when we're talking about like creativity and stuff like that, that's one aspect. But then when we're talking about ownership, that's a different aspect. So do you feel as though I guess, we do know, and one thing that I liked about the Grammys, especially with it being hip hop, we know it was created by black people, and oftentimes a lot of stuff that's created by black people is often obscured, and other people get a hand in it, and they're able to sort of, push themselves to the forefront and stuff. But I feel as though just the creation of hip hop and the originators and the progenitors still being present and stuff like that, it's very impactful when you see so many of those significant black figures and stuff together in one place. We do know within hip hop they've got the Beastie Boys. They always like to bring up other guys like Fed Bass and stuff like that. We know there are white artists and stuff who have contributed, but when we think of like who pushes the parameters for the creativity, it's often the black artists and stuff like that. So do you feel when it comes to the ownership they're not doing enough to own and definitely take
Right.
ownership of their own creations and stuff.
Right. That's what the key of it is ownership. Right now I said right now is the time where the getting is good, where you see niggas like LL, he got Rock the Bells, radio, and a lot of people are starting to, see the thing. They just get right now, get like I said, they not paying us enough money as we're old. Like, maybe the new rappers, they getting all this money, but they so stupid and dumb, they not really realizing that they gonna be in the same position as the rappers they looking and saying that they old to. Y'all old, and oh man, y'all old, okay, old school OG and all that. Now I realize in a genre of music that you become that same person that you clowning in a matter of minutes. You become the old school rapper. You feel what I'm saying? So now is the time for these young rappers, since you making all the money, man, that's cool and all that, the big chains and all that shit is cool, but put your money towards something that you have your own radio station and you have your own companies, real legit companies that you doing right by black people. You feel me? Because these artists, since the days of Chuck Berry and Little Richard, they've been raping us. The artist is the last to get paid. Everybody else is getting paid before the artist. So, instead of clowning and making it seem like the older artist is jealous of y'all or yeah, OG, all right, and all that, niggas ain't listening still and all, you better listen, because in a minute, y'all about to be the old school rappers. Niggas is still young. We still young in the world, but in rap, you be old quicker than quick. You know what I mean? So, like, just think about, like, I ain't putting nobody name out there because they may feel some type of way, but I'm sure it's a bunch of artists out there from back in those days, the 90s, that feel like, damn, I didn't put my whole life, and I look in the mirror and I got gray in my shit. You know what I'm saying? And where's the money? I got a bunch of fame every time I go out somewhere, somebody saying hey and all that, but where is the mun? You feel me? Like, where's the money at? That's why we set up a union.
The money definitely go up the line. I mean, the union would definitely help. And as I said, if it was something where they're taking a percentage of, the artist's earnings and putting that into a union pot or something, and subsequently releasing those funds to produce, other stuff like shows and you mentioned like a radio station and media outlets and platforms, or just finance and other stuff. I think that would definitely be helpful. I think somebody should
the artists, the ones who do have the artists who do have their own platform and radio stations, they quick to act funny with their own people. Let's call them out too. Let's call these niggas out, because I'm tired of that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to speak that brother and preaching and yeah, my brother and all that shit on the camera, but behind closed doors, niggas is on some funny shit, some weirdo shit, and niggas act funny with each other. I'm just gonna call it out. I really don't care. The Hollywood shit, I ain't with the Hollywood shit. That's why I ain't super big and super major and all of that. But one thing is, I can look at myself in the mirror and I know what I did and then what I didn't do. You know what I mean? I ain't no funny. I ain't with the funnies. I ain't with none of that. You know what I mean? I ain't Hollywood. I'm Inglewood, straight up. You know what I mean? And so I look at these rappers a lot of the time. They hypocritical. They have a whole lot of yapping and having a whole lot of brother talk, but behind closed doors, niggas is mad. Niggas being funny with each other. So you got to deal with that. You got to deal with a whole lot of things in this industry, man. If you love, the only reason why I'm really somewhat in it, because I love the music. I love the process of making the music and being in the studio and creating it and all that. But the Hollywood and the Hollyweird shit, I ain't with none of that. You know what I mean? I ain't with the banging to where, it's stopping something because you from this or he from that. I ain't with none of that shit. Like, you know what I mean? So maybe that's the reason why I ain't super big. But I'm going to tell you, though, one thing they can say about me, I'm going to speak that truth, Ruth, straight up.
Yeah, you spoke about Bob Johnson and stuff and BET. Do you feel as though, like, when it comes to certain organizations or I guess companies, that they're limited to how big that they can actually get? You said you feel as though he shouldn't have sold, but do you feel as though there's always like a hidden hand that once you get to a certain level, you've kind of got no choice but to sell?
He had no choice but to sell, because See, if everybody would still have this mindset back in the days, it'd have been more people that was black that he can hand that and baton that to. But how you gonna sell black entertainment television to white people? Not being racist or being biased or nothing, but it just don't seem right. They not about to sell white entertainment television to a black person. But the only reason why they had to sell it because there was nobody else in business that had that much money that he could baton that to, or they could have bought it. It's black people in the world, but they not in position like that to buy it. And the ones that are in position, they may not have been in position at that time, but the ones that what I see, the ones that are in position is not really thinking like that. They thinking about themselves and their kids and their well-being and their longevity and passing it down to their kids. But when they really should be thinking about business, if you really look at it, black people life expectancy ain't that fucking long. So we have to whatever. See, white people is different. That's why they can pass it off because they think different. They like, shit, I ain't about to be on this earth and I can't take it with me. You know what I'm saying? But I can make it to where my people, my folks, and my people, they living good for the rest of their life. And then if they smart enough and have the smarts and wits, they pass it off to their family and their family and their family. And that's what you call wealth. Wealth is when you have that type of money. Rich, you can have it and you can lose it. Wealth is longevity and money from generations. They go on and on.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So, obviously a lot of things come down to money. We know in society that's one of the main things. A lot of people also look at legacy as being important, not just money. So I think when we look at the Grammys and we see the JJ Fads and the Willie D's and certain people speaking out about not being involved or even invited to participate
I
in what
love
they
JJ Fair too. I love them. Some of them are doing, I'm doing. Yeah, that was it. I love JJ. My bad. Go ahead.
yeah, they looking at legacy and stuff like that. So and I mean, yeah, they definitely pioneers for bringing that sound and element. I actually did an interview with Big Court. Shout out to Big Court from the Holding Court podcast, and he actually said that when he used to rap back in the day in his group CCG, he got that fast flow style from JJ Fad.
Right, you know what I mean? And which was on Ruthless Records, Easy E, once again. And if you look, you can hear JJ Fad's songs on commercials and all that shit. When they was doing that, when they was doing Supersonic, I guarantee 100% that they didn't think that 25, 30 years down the line that their song would be on commercials. That's why you have to take your stuff seriously. You have to, and that was a major song. I seen white people loving that song. A bunch of songs that white people love. This is how we do it. Montel Jordan. He went to Sarah. Big up to Montel Jordan too. He didn't think that his song. You play that shit around white people is losing their mind. Another song, white people lose their mind.
They still play that in the club to this day, man.
They still playing another song that white people love.
In the UK, they still singing along to that. This is how we do it. Come on, man.
You give white people some
put
alcohol.
You back into it.
That too, they play that too. But when you give white people some alcohol and you put on that Naughty by Nature, that up top, the hey ho, man, please, it's damn near riot going. They love it. You know what I mean? Bust a Move, Young MC. There's a lot of people that that really live this life. Tone Low, Wild Thing, Funky Cole Medina, big huge record.
Can't forget Tone Low, man. Gosh, I would say to a lot of people, I always feel Tone Low gets left out in a lot of hip hop conversations.
But at one time on MTV, he was Funky Cole Medina and Wild Thing. Come on, man.
Woo.
Huge.
Yep. I mean, he even played his part on "We're All in the Same Gang," on that track. He had a piece on there. What I mean? When I was
Tone Low stuff. That was Laylaw's good friend. That was Laylaw's good friend, Tone Low. Again, rest in peace to my homeboy, one of my mentors, Laylaw. Rest in peace to Laylaw again, man. But him and Tone Low used to be together all the time, and so that's how I met Tone. So shout out to Tone Low too.
Yeah, that's the stuff for real OG right there, man. And I mean, looking at that and looking at the Grammys, obviously we don't want to be fixated on just that show, as he said. There should be other shows and stuff like that. But seeing as I guess we named some legends conspicuous by some absence at that show, if you was to have if you was to book the show, the Hip Hop 50, and you had that portion, you had an hour to play with, and you had
Mhm.
to include different artists from the different eras. Who would you put in there?
What for the
That,
50th?
that yeah, that you feel was missing, or what would you pretty much book the same sort of lineup, or what sort of name would you have in
Yeah,
there?
hell yeah. The lineup was the shit. I wasn't even speaking on that. That's why I said I didn't want to take away from the Grammy and everybody's performance because everybody was A1 Yola. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying some shit that I feel like if Tupac was alive, that he would say. And I honestly feel that way. You know what I'm saying? If Pac was alive, Pac would be he wouldn't be satisfied with what was going on. You know, but I would keep the same lineup, but I would have more than just one 50th anniversary show. It should be way bigger than that. Just like when people have their birthday and they be like, it's my birthday today, but man, please, I'm about to turn up. One day can't even do me justice. The whole month is my birthday. And that's what it should be. We already are in Black History Month, you know what I'm saying? And it's the shortest month of the whole year. You know what I mean? They don't want us to have these things, but they have no choice but to give it to us because they know we built it. You know what I'm saying? We built it and killed it. You know what I mean? So I just feel like it should be more it should be more shows. It should be a West Coast edition. It should be a South edition. How Atlanta, look at the contribution that Atlanta then brought to hip hop, and that's all we get is New York rap, which I ain't taking away from. I love New York, big up the NYC, all the five boroughs and all that. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying some shit that I feel like that's on my mind that should be spoke about, and I know I ain't the only one that's speaking about it.
Yeah, well, we definitely heard different people chime in as we reiterated, saying that they wish that they were contacted at least, just given the opportunity to know about it. Obviously, a lot of people can't be fit into it. I do look at it from the argument and the standpoint as we're saying that, should the hip hop moguls create their own and do more to create their own platforms, award shows, things of that nature, to really maximize. But we do know they come up against a lot of opposition. It was reported years ago that Master P was trying to start his own TV network, which was Better Black TV. And, it seemed that there was a lot of issues, a lot of red tape, even just getting it put together and stuff like that, a lot of difficulties. So sometimes I think we can look at things and think, it might be easy to do it, and then the actual people out there doing it, they come across the difficulties when they're trying to put it together. Subsequently, I feel as though if you still persist forward, you can always still maintain and put stuff together. So hopefully we do see signs of people, spanning out to take that creation and ownership to a different level, and stuff like that, which I feel is important.
It takes more than just one person. 50 got money, you know what I'm saying? He got power and all that, but it takes more than one person. Everybody want to throw out how much money they making, but they don't want to put together. They scared, they scared to put things together because if not, if it ain't that, then it's egos. I don't have the money to do it, but if I did, I would. Like a Tyler Perry money, I would be doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's for the culture. You know what I'm saying? Whether they realize it or not, even if they're not directed, they whole thing is hip hop still and all in every genre of music, in movie, in entertainment, in commercial, in cartoons, and everything. Hip hop is involved with it. You feel me? They owe us. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we looking for handouts, but they owe us. If I had the
I mean,
money, I would do it. You know what
hip
I
hop
mean? And I'm
definitely
gonna tell you
plays
something else. They can be whoever listening. They can be mad at me. I don't care if they mad at me, but I'm gonna speak the truth and I'm gonna tell you what the truth is. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to air dirty laundry and none of that type of shit. But I'm just saying, if you really represent hip hop like we represent hip hop, and people ride or die, and look at the DMX. Nobody got get they shine. Nobody really got to. It was just the East Coast. So I felt J-Dee when he said what he said because he's like, where the West at? You know what I'm saying? Just like if I was in the South, I know it's in the South. Like, well, where the South at? You know what I mean? Of course, Eminem not gonna come to the Grammys. He hates the Grammys. You know what I'm saying? But he will come to a Source Awards, or I've seen him before. You know what I'm saying? Or he would come to a black the BET Awards, but BET is ran by the people that he don't like. You know what I mean? So that's where it steps up with everybody who got the money, who got the paper. You know what I mean? Y'all get together and put something together, man. Let's damn before the month run out.
Yeah, I mean, it would be good, as you said, if it could tie in with Succession of hip hop 50th anniversary. But as you said, you made a point earlier. It's not just like your birthday. You ain't just gotta celebrate it in the month, or on the day. So even with this being hip hop 50th anniversary, this is gonna be continually celebrated throughout the whole year. Because we're looking at things from an annual standpoint. So even just this whole calendar year, there's gonna be a lot of representation and celebration of hip hop and its legends and stuff like that. One thing that we continue to do on Back to Online, and if you're joining us on YouTube with the DOATBM, give us a like and a subscribe and share this video if you feel this content. But one thing we do over at Back to Online, we definitely focus in on hip hop from the old school, bringing it forward, looking at some of the legends and stuff, creating those links and stuff like that. So in terms of us, we're going to be having more content coming this year, which is going to be featuring some backstory videos on a lot of artists and stuff, some untold story stuff, a lot of behind the scenes, things of that nature.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I see
Rolling like a big shot.
Yeah, you throwing your dub up. I see you, westing up.
Yeah, man, smoking on my stizzy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I ain't trying to throw no shade on nobody. I just see things for what it is because I done been in this hip hop game for a long time. And a lot of the people that we speaking about, I know them. You know what I mean? And so if I could say something to arouse somebody in a good way, they could be mad at me or, whatever. But if I arouse you in a good way to like, you know what, he right, that's what I'm on. You know what I mean? And I represent both coasts. Even though I'm from LA, I represent both coasts. I lived in New York for a long time too. So I'm just speaking from the outside and the inside.
Yeah, no doubt. So where we're at right now, I mean, just looking at hip hop's legacy and stuff, it's definitely expanded out, as you said, from New York and the five boroughs to the rest of the world and stuff. It's really, captivated the world and stuff like that. One thing with me is I see a lot of people embrace hip hop and the culture and stuff like that, but they don't um get behind other wider geopolitical issues or social issues, and sometimes other race related issues, especially when concerning black people. So I feel as though a lot of people, they like the culture, they like the music, they like the artists, they like all that stuff, and especially when they can partake in it and stuff. But when things happen that afflict I'm stammering my words like an MF for today. But when things happen that afflict the black community, oftentimes some of these people, they're very quiet and stuff, which I find quite hypocritical.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is, man. Square biz, G.
Yeah, I think it's definitely square biz because everybody wants that cool pose and association that comes with um, hip hop, especially because just the language, the vernacular, the style, and all that stuff, the expression, everything that's been given to the world and stuff. But you don't necessarily see that thanks for it, which is sort of why I kind of do like that. A light was shone to some capacity at the Grammys. I even seen the Outlaws did a post and they said they was happy to see their name even just included on the wall because they said, even themselves, they've never been invited to anything like that. But somebody took the time to put their name on the wall, which shows that they've been, you know, identified as being up there with some of the hip hop greats.
Yeah, man, they ain't Tupac. They ain't Biggie. They ain't Big Pun. That's what I'm
I mean,
saying. Like,
yeah, they got their name. That's what I think they meant. They were happy to just see their name on the wall to know the fact that somebody had recognized them.
the greats, and then a lot of the greats is not getting they propers. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we need a union. That's what we need to be on. That's the next step. Union. So when it's over, it's not over entirely. You know what I'm saying? It makes people feel like like they did it for nothing, even though we love hip hop. Don't make us feel like this. We love hip hop and hip hop don't love you back. You know what I'm saying? Like There's people that didn't put their whole careers and moved to different states and tried they all and did everything they could do just to get on. So, you have to look at these people. Even for the people that really didn't, they one-hit wonders or whatever, they still contributed to hip hop and rap. Don't make people feel like that. Don't make people feel like you love hip hop and hip hop don't love you back.
So you feel there ain't enough love in the game, or you feel
Hell no. Hell no. It ain't enough love in the game. It ain't enough structure. It ain't enough ownership in the game. But it's a $1 trillion industry. It ain't enough love. It ain't enough love in between us black people. And I feel like that's the reason why other people treat us the way that they treat us, because once you show that, once you show that you don't got no love, what I'm saying, from other races is looking at that. People looking at, they don't love each other. They killing each other. They could be doing the same thing. But for some reason, black people make it look so good. We just make it look so good how we do everything, even the bad stuff that we do. We make it look so good, but it's a terrible thing that people not loving each other the way they're supposed to. There's too much egos in it. I love the music. I have this song called I Love My People, but They Don't Love Me. And I really be feeling like that a lot of the time. You know what I'm saying? It's really like depression. It makes you depressed when you have to go through other things with other races and people treat you and call you nigger and have all these things going on. And then you look for the love from your own people and it don't be that. Or it is love. I'm not saying that all black people like that, but like I see more not love than love. Let's keep it in 100.
Yeah. I mean, I always seen hip hop as something that bring a lot of people together, black people within the diaspora. I see it as something that definitely is
It
having like.
does. It does. It does. I'm not fronting on that. It does. Hip hop does bring people together, but it brings people together from momentarily, not like how it should. You know what I'm saying? Like not how it should. Like not saying that you can be like that with everybody, because people are strange nowadays and you can't, be reaching out like that. But I'm just saying the real people know what I'm talking about. That love. That love, like not trading and slicing your brother's neck and putting a dagger in your brother's back. That type of shit. You know what I'm saying? The real love, not that fake love. The real love. We can talk about it all day, but I'm not.
Yeah, well, we definitely advocate for love over hate and positivity over negativity, and
Right.
to keep on a positive aspect. Hip hop's 50th anniversary will be continually celebrated throughout the year. So we're definitely looking forward to dropping some of these releases and stuff. And we got some exclusives in the pipeline. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you're joining us on YouTube, give us a like and a subscribe. If you're listening across
Hit that like. Y'all hit the likes, man. What's going on? Y'all hit the likes, man. I know I do it all the time. I'll still be looking at people's stuff and I watch it and then don't hit the like. But it's very important that y'all hit that like though. For real talk.
No doubt, man. So we're gonna wind down on this one. Any last words you got to say to the people?
Just hit that like and subscribe. That's it. You know what I'm saying? If you getting any type of information, if you really taking heed from something and from this this podcast, then you should press like and should press it, subscribe. So that's all I'm saying. This big floss mode. West with it.
There we out. Your boy Fonzie representing for BatNetOnline.com. You with the DOA TBM. Stay up, stay woke, and always look out for you folks. Peace.